So I'm conflicted here, Jenna, because I said before the Lakers-Suns series that I thought these were the two best teams in the West. The Lakers 1 and the Suns 2. And so one would think that I would say, okay, now the Lakers are out and the Suns beat them and beat them handily. The Suns should be the favorites. But I am concerned, unfortunately, about CP3's ability to make it through 2 more rounds. And it sure seemed like, this is a failure by the Lakers, that he was clearly not going to shoot threes, and he was clearly not 100%, and the Lakers didn't adjust their defense accordingly. They did kind of, but they should have been doubling off CP3 repeatedly in games 5 and 6, and they rarely did. So as much as I would love to see Chris Paul break through, I don't think he's going to be able to hold up for another 12 to 14 or so brutal playoff games. So I am going to go with the one team in the West that hasn't actually made round 2 yet, and I'm going to say the Mavs. I do think that year 2 in the playoffs, age 22, one-man show, Luka Doncic is going to do what LeBron did in that exact scenario nearly 15 years ago, where age 22, year 2 in the playoffs, no all-stars around him, just comes onto the scene and announces himself, I am the best player in the league. That's what LeBron did in 2007. I think that's what Luka is going to do over the next month. I think he is going to announce himself as, I am not one of the best players in the league. You should consider me the best player in the league, even at age 22. And I think the Mavs are going to come out of the West now, Jenna.
And with that, we welcome in Antoine Walker. Antoine, good morning. I'm sure it was a late night for you, as it was for all of us. Nick Wright's got the Dallas Mavericks now taking control of the West. What say you? Who do you think all the focus is on now? You also had the Lakers.
I did have the Lakers. I thought they were going to be healthy enough to make a deep run, but right now it's got to be the Utah Jazz. They got a chip on their shoulder after being eliminated in the first round last year, after being up 3-1 against Denver. Looking at how they played that first series against Memphis. Memphis is a tough young team, and they have all the pieces. They're fairly healthy. We don't know how serious Mike Conley injury is. He was playing great, so if he's healthy and able to shake this hamstring, this little mild hamstring he has, I'd like Utah to make a deep run. They're the best team defensively, I think, left in the playoffs. Rudy Gobert commands great attention and great in the post where he's able to score as well as be a defensive stopper. And Donovan Mitchell is coming into his own. If you watch the first round of that playoffs, 28 points a game, just the way he's been able to be aggressive after sitting out the first game coming off injury, he's only getting better. People got to understand he missed the last 6 or 7 games going into the playoffs. So he's just now starting to get his legs up under him. I like they've got every position filled. They can go 10 deep, and they can shoot the 3 ball. One thing you got to know about the Utah Jazz, they shoot the 3 ball from just about every position. I like the Jazz.
Well, you go back to what you said. You mentioned defense, and someone told me that defense wins championships. And unfortunately, Lakers came into the playoffs with the #1 defense, and they got bounced in the first round. So please miss me with all that defense stuff right now. Unfortunately, this question doesn't work for me, team. The producers, I need to talk to the producers because it doesn't work. You know, even if the Lakers won last night, my answer doesn't change. Go back to our show from November 24th. It hasn't changed since then. It's the Clippers. I know they're down 3-2.
Oh, no.
I'm doubling down. You know I am. You know I am. Please.
Their season ends in 12 hours. Their season's, they're going to last one day longer than the Lakers. If Brandon's going to say the Clippers, I want to amend my answer. I think the Lakers are coming out of the West. I'm amending it. Brandon, if you're sticking with the Clippers, then I'll stick with the Lakers. Because they got the same chance.
No, get out of here. Beat it. Wiles, this is what's going to happen. You have Luka, who's sensational, and I love what Nick said. He can possibly, make a statement, say, yeah, consider me now as the best player in the NBA. But here's the deal. He's tired. He just had a phenomenal night. I don't think he's going to be able to do that again tonight. All right, so I see them going to Game 7, and I'm going to lean on the experience in Game 7 with Ty Lue, with Kawhi, this is no more playoff P. That's done. And you have playoff Rondo. So I'm going, taking this series to Game 7, and I see them coming out of it.
Okay, to support you, and I'm going to throw it to you, Nick. You know who's got a big I told you so medal right now? Ty Lue. He's why I told you. And the Clippers weren't going to play the Lakers in the first round, but they knew if you lose those 2 games, the theory was right. Let someone else knock the Lakers off, and then we can sort of ride to the championship. Now, maybe it hurt them. Maybe it put them in bad momentum, and they ended up sort of losing a little bit of confidence. But I don't think any team is happier than the Clippers to see the Lakers go home.
You got it wrong.
Emotionally,
Why they're going to share
the Clippers
a vacation rental with them? What are you talking about? The Clippers could have been playing the Blazers. They could have been playing the Blazers. They were so afraid of the Lakers
I know that
they opted for Luka. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know, but they know now. They see the path open for them. That's why they are emotional. We know that they are an emotional team, and no team in the West is happier than the Clippers. I think the Clippers, Antoine, could be happier than the Suns that the Lakers lost. I think the Clippers are overjoyed.
Before we go to Antoine, because if you're just tuning in, I want America to know something. Wilds wore that ugly tie to troll me because he said it's Suns colors. All morning, he's been trying to get me amped up. All morning, he's been trying to get me angrier and angrier because he knows I'm in a frail mental state right now. And I want the audience to know, while Wilds appears to be a likable guy, he's a total fraud. Because when Antoine said the Jazz, Wilds was like, yes, finally, someone promoting the Jazz.
Right.
And Wilds yesterday on Twitter, I'm reading it now, in the take economy, there's no more undervalued take. And then it went on to talk about why the Jazz are going to win the West. And then he just, at the moment he could do it, just crumbled. And you wanted to take the Jazz. You think it should be the Jazz. No. You're tweeting, if only someone on sports television would pick the Jazz. You're on sports television, you idiot. Pick the Jazz. Do it. You want to do it. Antoine did it.
Okay, look.
Just for the record.
All right, I'll be with you. But there's 2 ways to make takes or picks. You can take a pick on what you really believe, or you can be smart and say, what's good for me? What's good for my career? What's the take that nobody has? Oh, does someone have the Jets winning a game? I'll take that one. If no one's got it, I'll take it. It's an undervalued take. So now that Antoine's got it, well, what's value in me taking it? Nope, no way. So Antoine, that's yours. That's now used. I don't get any credit if I take the Jazz.
Go, Antoine.
That's the way it works, Jenna. That's showbiz.
Hey, Brandon. I like the fact you want to be a man of your word and stay with the Clippers. The Clippers are not very good. They're going to be eliminated. It's unfortunate. Their 2 superstars don't want to guard Luka. You know how this goes. It's unfortunate. They're gonna be eliminated. But you just got to look at the teams that's left, and it's very tough. And I know people are probably like, how you don't pick the Suns, being that they just beat the NBA champ. But they beat the NBA champs that were very hurt and not 100%. So I don't think they're good enough to beat Utah. I think Utah was the best team all season long, obviously record-wise. And if you just look from top to bottom, the key ingredients to win the championship now in the NBA, they shoot the 3 very well from every position. They have a go-to guy, Donovan Mitchell, and they are the best defensive team left. They still play traditional basketball with a traditional center, and they're able to defend anybody in the league. So you still have to like the Utah Jazz to come out. And the only team that possibly could have beat the Utah Jazz in the 7-game series was probably the Lakers because of their size. They could implement that size on them. So Utah will come out the West right now. I think it opens up for them. And they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think they really are down. And I remember I said this. As the playoffs goes along, there's going to be more and more fans creep up in these arenas. Before all said and done, we'll have sellout arenas, and that's going to benefit the Utah Jazz. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Utah, but they got great fan support.
Thankfully,
and that place can be deafening.
Not planning to either, but I'll take your word for it.
Thanks Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.